The story you'll hear now lives in the livid, so real you could touch the memories of two frightened girls, now women. It began in a down-market motel whose L.A. neighborhood was most decidedly not child-friendly. It was to be a one-night sleepover with new friend Renee. Instead, the adult who'd brought her here, a woman named Shirley, simply didn't take her home again. Instead, she packed some belongings, put the girls in her car, and hit the road. Where did they go? The little girl had no idea. But she did know that from now on she had a new name. They called her Pepper. Pepper Smith. She was not yet 5 years old.
We lived in cars and motels and going from state to state, staying at Salvation Armies to get a meal here and there, just...
What's it like to live in a car?
It's horrible. It's embarrassing. If we would get up in the middle of the night, leave, not tell anyone, and go to the next place, wherever that place was. I've lived in so many states. I can name little towns, Van Horn, Texas, Las Cruces, New Mexico, just for minutes. We weren't there for a long time.
She was confused, of course, and terribly frightened at first. She begged, "Take me home." Shirley ignored her. She imagined running away.
I had nowhere to go, and I was too scared.
Then, as the weeks and months and then years went by, as her powers of reasoning grew, the question grew too. Did her mother, Bobby, actually give her away? Shirley told Pepper that Renee was her sister. The two girls listened wide-eyed as Shirley explained to strangers that she was their grandmother, that their parents had been killed in a car accident.
I knew that everything that was happening to us was completely wrong at a very, very young age.
Why had she been taken? She didn't know. Not for money, certainly. There were no ransom demands. And without Pepper's birth certificate, Shirley couldn't use her to score public assistance, though she did use Renee that way. Frightened, compliant Renee, eager for a mother's love, even if that mother figure was Shirley.
I never wanted to do anything wrong. I felt like if I did something wrong or whatever, she wouldn't love me. She would give me away.
Wouldn't love me? Shirley told her, says Renee, that she was born to a prostitute drug addict named Jerry, that Shirley saved baby Renee, raised her as a daughter, but kept Renee in line by threatening to abandon her. Did she ever threaten to do that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, many times we'd do something wrong, and she would say, well, you stop doing that or I'm going to send you off to Jerry's house.
And so they lived a life of packing up and fleeing state to state, one flop house to the next, searching for the cheapest place to stay and then skip out of. Hunger, constant. Medical care, non-existent. An example.
I had fallen down and landed on a piece of glass that went into my knee. And I was proud of myself because I didn't cry. And she takes me to the room, and she takes the salt and pours it onto my sore. Yeah, and
Salt?
Salt.
Why?
Salt. That's what she does.
But that would make it hurt more.
Yeah, absolutely. And then she's angry with me because my knee needs stitches, and it's a big problem. I didn't go to the doctor and get stitches.
When money ran out, as it often did, Shirley drove to the nearest truck stop. The girls would bed down in the car and watch Shirley sneak off to do, well, they didn't know. And, alone and frightened, they held on to each other and watched the shadows of strange men pass by their car. Until the night when, terrified and unable to sleep, Renee followed Shirley.
She's taking a long time, and I'm getting scared because I'm thinking she left or she's died or something, so I go into where they work on the cars, and she's like on the side over here, and he's on top of her, and I didn't know what was going on. I got scared, and then she seen me, and she yelled at me and said, "Get out of here, go."
At least, then, they had a bit of money. When they didn't have a car, Shirley would put the girls at the side of the road with their little thumbs out. Was there ever any thought that you can recall in your childhood mind, I'll find a policeman or anything like that?
I wanted to tell at a very young age. I wanted to tell anyone who would listen, but I couldn't really get my voice. I couldn't really tell. I was
afraid
scared.
to.
I was very much afraid to.
And afraid also to ask Shirley for an answer. Why had she been taken?
She would scare us to believe that we were in a better place. She was doing something good for us.
Did you ever understand why she wouldn't take you back home?
Her personality was very up and down, like very angry. And so if I asked questions, she would say stuff like, if you want to find your mom, she's on the streets shooting heroin and a prostitute.
Tirades were frequent. Neglect, part of life. Verbal and physical abuse a regular occurrence.
She would whip us with the belt, slap us, verbally cuss at us, verbally abuse us.
And threatened to send you away.
Right.
I just took the belt because it just, if you take it, it's hard to explain, but if you just take it, she gets out of the rage faster, so to speak.
Which, in a way, is the same reason Pepper started calling Shirley Mom. Not out of love or respect, she says, but because Shirley demanded it, and so it was easier that way. They went to school when they could, made very few friends, and lost the ones they did make. Struggled to be ordinary kids and then normal teenagers. All the while, as they huddled in the cars they lived in, or whatever cheap motel room Shirley could organize, they dreamed their dreams. Renee's was the terror that clutched at her gut. Abandonment.
All I wanted to be is loved. That's it. And I never got any kind of love that I wanted.
And Pepper, as each birthday passed unmarked, dreamed.
Of my mom, yeah. Of my bed and my toys in my room. And my mom's hair.
And she burned with a ferocious determination. Somehow, she had to escape. And she did escape. At least for a while.
I had a house, which was huge for me. I think because I had the memory of my home.
But Pepper soon learns that a house isn't a home. When Dateline continues.